Welcome to the Icy Spicy Cast Part 2 with no Rui because he's too broke to be here, unfortunately.
I mean, we had hell scheduled this week.
Yeah, today was actually just a rough week. Same with Dre. He's been busy, so it's just me, Verizon,
Right.
aka Rip.
And Ron, aka him Duncan.
Here's how you know how we're going to start it off, right?
Or
Open up the can, and let's start
him the
with
toolman.
illegal TikTok trends, which I don't know how you didn't see this one, Ron.
I I tell people all the time, like, my TikTok for you page doesn't get any of the bad stuff that floats around on TikTok. I always see it on Twitter.
Maybe they just think I'm a villain. I don't know.
I think it's because I like stuff and that they know like exactly what I want. Like
What
the
do you
worst thing I've gotten in the last month was this girl who goes on live with her boyfriend who got shot in the head and he's like lost all function. And I'm like, yeah, I don't fuck with this shit, man. He's special needs and she using them for followers and clout.
That's not like illegal though.
It's not illegal, it's immoral.
Fair enough. The shit I was
Like
looking at was that Kesha, like, her song "Die Young," people were like breaking in to homes as like part of the
that was
challenge.
that was like a trend like a year ago,
It's
like a
still a
year
thing
and a
though.
half ago.
Well, then
It's
like the
not
Kia
as
Boys, like that like illegal TikTok has kind of been a thing.
but the thing about the Kia boys, just like Devious Elix, is like when TikTok people got a hold of it, they just like took it all off the app.
Oh, that shit got wiped. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, like you look up Kia boys now, you will not find anything.
I'm gonna have to test that out, I guess, and then I'm
Like
gonna end up getting recommended more illegal TikToks. I think that's how that works.
no, most of them were like Milwaukee accounts, so it'd be like Milwaukee Hype 414 or whatever. And then I guess they figured it out because they did the same thing to Devious Licks, even though like half the shit they deleted with Devious Licks was people memeing it, being like, "Oh, I stole the principal," or "I stole the whole school."
What do you mean the whole school?
So like people would still like to sync out his school, and then other people were doing it as like a parody. Like somebody, I seen one where this dude opens up the doors. Devious look licks. I took the whole school home, and then he opened it up. It's like an aerial shot of his school, and I was like, "How did he do this video editing trick?"
And then it turns out it's not actually a trick. He's like actually doing some illegal ass shit.
No, I mean, like stuff like that was funny, but then like people were like just straight up stealing like water fountains, like door handles and stuff, and like TikTok was like, "Nah, we getting this shit off this app ASAP."
This is kind of like a sideways of that trend. I had seen like there's GoPro cameras of like the Ukraine war, like people on the ground like shooting at motherfuckers on the other side, and I'm like they're just trying to like monetize like war for public entertainment.
You can get nerfed for putting that out there.
Wait, really?
Yes, like there's certain accounts that the algorithm doesn't catch, and there's certain. I guess some stuff falls through the cracks, some stuff doesn't. But like they know, but if you pull something super fucked up on there, they will try to get your ass out of here.
Kind of makes sense.
I mean, it's stuff I've seen get through the algorithm before.
You're gonna need an example.
Like it was like something from Africa, and it was like nudity in it. I just remember somebody pointed it out and was like, "How this get through?" But I got banned for like a week.
That's wild.
Instagram's worse though.
What do you mean by that? I really don't mess with Instagram outside of like fashion stuff.
Okay, so the Instagram, I know the trick to get how some people get around the nudity. Like they'll wear see-through clothes. I've seen women do this. And because like I guess the algorithm doesn't detect it if they see like a top on, a specific like a bikini top, so they just assume, okay, she's wearing clothes, but like you could see what she looks like without them on. Or the AI thing.
Well, shit.
I seen one where the girl put herself topless on the thumbnail.
Actually, I will tell you one of the illegal TikTok trends I seen that I'm shocked. Like, it's not even just TikTok though. Like on YouTube, where like people are driving like over 100 miles an hour on public roads, type shit.
Oh, yep.
And like, I know I'm somebody who does like shamelessly speed sometimes, and I'm trying to be better about it. But like, some motherfuckers be like doing that shit on like not even the freeway, like regular ass streets.
Yeah.
I think the
I've seen
pandemic
people.
started a lot of it too because when it was just like completely wide open, nobody gave a fuck.
I wish I would have drove more during the pandemic.
That shit was a movie, bro. Like every single
I
day.
would have been Paul Walker.
Oh my god.
I made a video. I made a TikTok on that this week.
I seen oh yeah, I seen that TikTok. You got like some pretty good views on it too.
No, that's my most like one. I've gotten better views on other stuff, but that's the first one I've gotten where over 100 people liked it.
What's crazy though is like now that there's traffic back because people are going into offices and shit. It's not as much as it used to be, like in terms of like
Oh,
rush hour traffic, but like people still are like driving that crazy.
I see people drive. I think people drive worse now. Like I seen somebody who was just drive the lane, switch, move over to the turn lane to pass someone up every single time that like on. Like you don't have to be somewhere at like 6 p.m. that fast.
Yeah, but what if I do? Nah.
Or like when you're on the freeway and I just see people weaving back and forth. This shit pisses me off so much.
I don't like it when there's traffic, but like it's really annoying when you're driving late at night. This is like a pet peeve of mine. And there's people who like are such fucking NPCs that they create traffic even though it's wide open around them. I don't know if that
I
makes
hate
any
when
sense.
I hate when people do the drive 5 miles an hour on a 35 miles per hour street.
Bro, I had one frustrating ass experience getting off the freeway in Houston the other day where like the exit's 45 miles an hour and this dude was doing like 15 and like everyone behind me was mad and I was like I don't know what to do here. If I speed up I'm going to hit this guy. If I honk this guy is probably going to stop the fucking car and pull out a gun.
Yeah.
Like I just like don't trust people to actually like not be dickheads. Speaking of dickheads, though, I was cracking up at that TikTok you sent with the office jobs killing the Taliban's work work productivity.
No, it's not that. It's like they underestimated how hard it was to do an office job. Like they were thinking, okay, this is going to be easy considering like terrorism is easy, and then that's not what happened.
I mean, as somebody who works the office job, it's one of those things where like you can have somebody explain to you how shitty it is to sometimes like go into the same place all the time and do the same thing, but like once you actually do it, you're like, oh damn, it's kind of mid.
They they realize that you have to do like the bare minimum. There's like bare minimum things you have to do in the office. You can't just throw people in here, say work, and expect it to work.
Yeah, because if you don't have like a supervisor or some shit, like you'll just sit there and like literally have nothing to do, and like
Like,
unless you're self motivated, then you're not gonna do anything.
right? They didn't realize like people needed to eat during the day, or like it's like small things pretty much where it's like, oh, I didn't know I had to do this.
Hmm. Speaking of things, man, I things I didn't know how bad it had gotten. Motherfucking McDonald's hash browns 250. 250, man. What could you do for 250 in the past? Like
It's over.
four
That's
Jack in the
it's
Box tacos.
um could get like depending on how you set it up, you could got like 6 things from McDonald's.
You could do the faux. Just double that. Instead of 2 hash browns, you get 4 shits from like Wendy's or Jack in the Box.
Yep.
Man, and I was actually talking to my fam about this. Like, if you go to a franchise restaurant now, it's so bad.
The pandemic and inflation ruined everything.
Hashtag recession. People
You
talking
know,
about the recession, like signs of the recession and shit. I'm like, the big one to me is like you go into like Waffle House and it used to be like 3 people as servers and now it's just one.
I mean, they now say nobody wants to work, and I was like, no, it's more of nobody wants to pay people properly.
Yeah, I'd seen somebody like say that resiliency, like people will be able to find more jobs, like and hold multiple jobs because they're out there. But I also feel like that's not really true. That like they have more jobs. Like people will have 2 jobs because both of them don't pay well.
That's exactly what it is.
And the pandemic
Like,
really fucked it up for people like in IT because you could do remote work at like multiple jobs at the same time. And every office that found out about that shit was like, no, 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 that's getting shut down, and like fired people when they found out.
saying how remote work, honestly, it saves companies money.
They don't want to admit that.
Like, I kind of think if we would have known about this before the pandemic, remote work would have been way more common because that means you spend less money on employees because that means you don't have to pay for to operate the building
Yep.
as much. I think we just found out too. They found out too late.
You could also like literally delete the lease for whatever office you're in, and like that alone will save you a ridiculous amount of money year over year.
Yeah, and I'm shocked companies haven't like just said, "Oh, we're pushing for this full time."
I think the biggest reason for that is like a lot of companies have managers who like to fucking micromanage, and like those people still have a lot of saying power over like what's going to be the culture for the office.
They do that for now, but in 5 years that could change.
True. Well, like even foot traffic downtown, like for a lot of places, is still like way down compared to before the pandemic.
It's just, I think it's kind of good.
I don't know. I prefer like I'm somebody who works downtown, and I like being able to access a lot of things just from like where I work at.
Yeah, that's why I want to get a new job because I need to be somewhere where I'm like at least in a walkable area.
I like the idea of like I finish going to work, and like after work I could go hang out with like some homies or the coworkers I have and like get something to drink, get something to eat, go home. And like I don't have to go like in Houston especially, like everything is like a 15-30 minute drive even if it feels like it's real close by. But downtown is a different story where like if you're downtown you have a bunch of shit to do.
Yes.
I don't think we do. We really need to talk about just to move on. Shit ass Twitter blue.
I don't even know what happened. You know what we should talk about is Facebook stealing their sauce.
Why would they? And you know what? I know why they did that because Facebook doesn't have any original ideas anymore.
Oh, like literally, that's what Meta. That's what they've been doing with Instagram. Like they see something else blow up somewhere else, and then they'll say, "Let's add that to Instagram."
But Twitter blue didn't even blow up. Didn't they say it was like less than like 5% of their like it was a really small percentage of like their available users are
Yeah, like
subscribed.
now, like they do this subscriber thing because Patreon and like OnlyFans and like other like models do it. And then now they're doing this new thing called broadcast,
Oh,
where like a popular user can just send you DMs all day.
Oh hell no.
Like you follow somebody who's like, I follow a streamer and she does it on Instagram.
Call him out. Who's the streamer?
It's Valky Ray. Like no, like she sent one last week, and I was like, wait, what? I was like, there's no way. And then like I was like looking through the messages, I was like, oh, it's like it works how like announcements work. How if you have an announcements channel on like Discord and nobody can talk, but the people like maybe the main person who runs it.
Oh, so you can't even DM back?
Nope.
That's so mid. I don't like
And
that at
like they'll
all.
just and I was like, they just see anything you can do on another app and just put it on Instagram.
I think, you know, as somebody, I'm gonna admit to paying for Nitro only because of like having memes and a bunch of channels. But I really don't understand like why so many people looked at fucking like Discord and were like, "Oh, this is a good business model," because it really doesn't make sense. Like even within Discord, like I've been in a bunch of like product communities like for brands, and I'm just like, why does this even have a Discord?
Yeah. No, I actually like Nitro. I can't go back to like not posting videos.
For me, it's just having like all the memes in my own private servers, just like
Now they
available.
have 4K streaming through Nitro.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They just announced that like yesterday.
Oh well, shit. That's not bad. 4K streaming though is just kind of like I like. What are you gonna stream in 4K? I guess just games.
Games like movies.
I
Like
don't know anyone who's streaming a 4K movie though. Come on now.
I'd stream Megan now that it's on Peacock.
Oh, fair. I don't know if you could say that. I was just like, whatever. Fuck it. I think
Hey,
you
they're
know, I
not
don't think it's a big
paying
deal.
us, so they're not paying us. So
Fair enough. Um, speaking of AI, fucking, we got a bunch of AI topics. What do you want to start with? Any particular one, or just like generally
Allen Iverson drawing his ass off.
AI with the braids going crazy? I am somebody who uses the Bing bot and ChatGPT on kind of a day to day basis. I've honestly been using it more than Google search. Like Google search has like almost no purpose now for me.
I only use Google search to find I just use it to like get me to a certain place and that's it. Like and it's always within the first three.
I think we already
So it's
dogged
all
Google search in a previous podcast, but like
I
I didn't realize how bad it was until I was like testing for malware on like an enterprise level, and I was like, bro, like all the ads lead you to malware. It's ridiculous.
I hate when you search something on Google and the first thing they do now, they've been doing this for years. I'm kind of hip to it a little bit more now. It's like they'll put a promoted thing in the first like three results.
That's what I'm saying though, Ron. Like all those ads, the ones that I was testing out for like software downloads were all malware. They weren't like the real link to like say you're trying to download Adobe Reader. It's like nope, all malware. Or like a
Yep.
virus. Meanwhile, like it, you know what it kind of reminds me of? This is gonna be crazy. I feel like Google search has gotten so bad. It's like Ask Jeeves.
Yep. It's only one thing you could really use Google search for. And Bing does that better though.
Bing has been from day one. It did that better.
It did it better because it just links you to the videos.
Oh, and the images too. The way that Google search that like image search works, where like you click on the image but it doesn't actually take you directly to that image, drives me insane. I think that's the big downside for using the AI bots though. Like you can't really like if you're looking for information, it's really good. But if you're looking for like a video or an image, it kind of falls apart.
A hot take about the AI thing.
Which is
I think this is a fad. I think in like 6 months we're gonna be on like the decline of it.
Nah.
I feel like this feels very like when people were buying stocks 2 years ago, or what's it, crypto. Like it's peaking now, and then in like 6 months, like it's not going to care. I mean, it's not going to hold the same weight it does now.
I think where its limitations are pretty obvious to me. Like if you wanted to create, for lack of a better word, content, like if you wanted to write a script for you, or if you wanted to make songs for you, like write music, or if you wanted to do anything that requires like actual creativity, it can't do that. What it's
True.
really, really good at is like shit at like my job where I need to like debug something for programming and I need it to like iterate through a computer program and figure out what went wrong. I think because it's a robot, it's really good at doing that shit.
Yep. And remember, like 6 months ago when the AI rapper happened?
Oh, that was so bad. Wasn't he an NFT
So,
artist too? Fuck NFTs.
oh, like I was like looking it up. I was like, damn, this thing happened 6 months before the AI like took over. Even though a piece of me thinks it was money laundering by Capitol Records that failed.
Oh, Ron, speaking of illegal TikToks, something just came off my feed that was robbing a bank.
God, I get
Is that
like
a challenge?
I get like stocks now. Let's see.
But yeah,
Uh,
back to AI, man. Like, there's a lot of like things that you can trick it into doing, like to make it seem like it's a person, but it's not a fucking person. I think people put too much weight on the intelligence part of it because it's not. It's just artificial.
yeah. Also, I need
Um,
the AI. I need the AI article.
Yo, AI art has been really good. That's one thing. Like,
AI art is another thing the Instagram algorithm won't catch.
true.
I've seen a woman post a picture of herself without a top on with AI art on Instagram, and it didn't get flagged. But I kind of think it's because the algorithm can't tell what it is.
Are those titties? Are those extra fingers? I don't
Like
know.
like like it literally had like the nipple the same color and everything. And I was like, the algorithm does not know what this shit is. So they're
uh,
gonna let her cook with it.
some more AI shit. Like Vanderbilt after the shooting at MSU, used ChatGPT to create their apology email, and then had to apologize for it.
Oh my god, not another Chat GPT apology.
I feel like the one of the things that I think ChatGPT exposes to me is how much fucking fluff people write that actually
Yeah.
doesn't like matter materially, like
You know
at
you
all.
know when I you know when I realized this?
Hmm.
Summer 2019 when I took a business writing class, and our teacher was like, all you have to do is just be simple, straight to the point. You don't need to write a ton of words. And now like, ah, I was like, that's it. That's the thing I didn't like about writing is how like word requirements made you just bullshit, or
Yeah.
like page requirements. Like you could do it in like 500 words, but you have to write 1,500 word article.
Or like even research papers, like
Yep,
some of that shit, the way that they use language is just like literally fluff when they could just be simple and straight to the point. Now, like more
exactly.
complex topics, like if somebody's doing a quantum math research paper, I'm
All right,
kind of doubtful they can explain some
Bear,
of those concepts simply.
Bear, we're gonna have to pause for a second.
Oh,
I mean, a few seconds, technically.
um, Fuck, what were we just talking about?
Um, um, Something about AI. Oh, AI fluff.
Yeah, AI with the braids.
Yep. We were talking about like how it fluffs it, and you said something about quantum.
Oh yeah, like you can't use ChatGPT to like explain really complex topics in a like short manner.
Yep.
Like truly complex topics and not just like I'm going to talk about some fucking theory about how people bad thing is caused by XYZ or is correlated to XYZ. Like that shit. You could definitely just summarize that in like a couple paragraphs rather than like 40 fucking pages. Now, if there's an associated research with it, sure. Like take the time to detail that. But like abstracts for research papers are always just like way too verbose for most. Fucking the alcohol, man. I've been drinking. Yeah, I can't replace the bartender that I have. That's for sure. Actually, here's like a side topic that like we didn't put on here, but I've been thinking about. How you feel about the fucking AI voice assistant drive-through
I
places?
don't know what that is, but I'm not a fan of it.
So like, I don't know if there's anyone by me, but there's a couple of places where you go through the drive-through and like a voice like a Siri basically will like try to take your order.
I'm not shocked we didn't have that earlier.
McDonald's kind of started it with the fucking touchpad kiosks.
I find those funny because like people will be in a line at McDonald's and then the kiosk be right there, and I'm like, you guys could just do that and be waiting
What I
within
don't
like 30
understand, why
seconds of coming in.
like why even somebody complained to me like, "Oh, the kiosk is so dirty." I'm like, "Bro, you have the app on your phone."
Ex- People just want human interaction still.
No, I don't want
It's
that shit.
like it's that's how I feel like about Walmart. Like,
Oh, you cut off.
Um,
What were you saying?
that's how I feel about Walmart. How they have the self checkouts, and people are like, "Why do you have so many self checkouts?" Like, aren't we just complaining they have like a million aisles and only two of them open?
I still didn't like there. I'm sure there was some psychological reason that they did that. I still don't understand why they did that.
They did it so that way they could get more people in and out of the store.
Yeah, but like they never had people actually at those registers. Like they had a billion
I know.
registers.
I didn't understand why they didn't do that quicker.
Oh, fair. I see what you're saying.
And like people are like, the only thing about that I don't like is people online who complain about like the greeter who checks your thing. And I was like, I don't know what Walmart y'all go to. Don't check it at mine. They just say,
Hmm.
Have a nice day."
um, there's a couple of places too where I go to, and I'm just like, man, I really wish I didn't have to like even talk to a person. Like, say you're just doing a pickup at a restaurant. Like, if I could just confirm with my phone that I own the food and it just like released an Amazon locker type shit, I would be way more for that.
That would work, but then how that's also how like you can pull off a ton of scamming.
Bro, you're gonna scam. People are gonna scam no matter what, though.
Yeah, but like that's gonna be like identity theft hits an all time high type of thing.
Well, one of the things I saw too, like with identity theft, is like people using like those AI voices.
Oh, like that's gonna be bad.
Bro, if your bank uses a like voice verification, like please, I'm begging you if you're listening to this, turn that shit
Don't
off.
do that.
Turn it off. Turn off the SMS, the phone texting verification. Turn that shit off too. Get an app. Get an
No,
authenticator.
the thing with the phone, no, the phone texting thing is crazy because I know one of the scams is like oh yeah, like I got locked out of my account or something like that. Can I use your number to retrieve the password or something like that? And then they're like, you get the number, the code they send you, and then the person like, what's the code? And then that's how they hack your account because they're trying to log into yours when they do that.
Well, in that, and you could just spoof a phone number really easily, and so like you could just get the
A
text
lot,
for the authentication.
yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
I don't get it, man. It's just one of those things where I guess maybe it's not fair because I do work IT and like get cybersecurity as part of my
Yep,
duties. And yeah, I always just tell my users like, "Hey man, just use an app, like an authenticator app because like even if they get your phone number, they're not going to have your app."
exactly.
And there's some other shit like some places use fingerprints and like retina scans and like even Face ID. Like, well, what if somebody gets a copy of your face? It's kind of a crazy thing to say, but like you only have one face.
Exactly.
So yeah, as far as like security goes, like the AI voices and shit, I feel like the end result of that is somebody makes a really convincing video with like deepfake and has a good voice
That's
and like
that's
has
what I
a
think this is. That's what I think this AI voice thing is going.
bro, they
Like,
could just make a bunch of fake websites that report on a story that's completely made up.
I think we're gonna get like deep fake level 10 soon.
That's just gonna be nasty, bro. People are gonna be like, "No, that
And
video was real," and like people who are like able to tell that it's not real are gonna be like, "Nah, that's bullshit," and nobody's gonna believe them.
it's gonna be one of those things where it's like noticeably fake. Like it's gonna be something that goes around on Facebook by like summertime where that's like noticeably bad and fake, and we're gonna fall for it.
It's gonna be like Biden
Because
threatening China, like, "Yeah, I'm gonna drop some nukes on their bum asses," and and like, there's gonna be a bunch of fake websites like using those AI tools to like write fake content that looks real. Like, it's just gonna be a complete mess.
and then and we're gonna have people on Facebook like Biden walling or something like that, and they're like, "You see this video?" And I'm like, "Dude, this is fake." Like, and it's gonna be like a noticeable flaw in it that people will intentionally like just act like it's no flaw.
Yeah, like the ones they have right now are kind of just like funny because they
It's
can
funny now.
you can still tell they're like not 100% there.
It's funny now, but like, and well, it's funny now until it goes too far.
Then it's gonna be illegal.
Yep.
It's sort of like that story that happened with deepfakes and like popular Twitch streamers. I don't really need to elaborate any further on that, but like imagine
Exactly.
if it was like a political figure instead.
Like someone's gonna make one like Kamala or something or AOC.
Where she's like fake murdering someone, like clubbing a seal or like doing some nasty shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a strong feeling it's gonna be like those revenge porn. I don't know if you remember that era of the internet where like people were making
When
revenge porn.
people would like post nudes of their ex after they broke up.
Yeah, that shit is gonna be mega illegal soon. I almost can guarantee that.
Yep. That's why I'm thinking it's funny now, but it's not gonna be funny by the end of 2023.
Yeah. What is funny is how much higher education is like losing their mind over it.
Yes.
I think it kind of exposes how bullshit a lot of the stuff that they've set up for higher education is. If you can like literally just ask a chatbot to get the answer that you need and not like learn the material.
Just came so late. Like when I was in college, there was like a website you could go to write an article, but I realized it was bullshit because every article was the same cookie cutter ass shit.
because they all just used a bunch of templates and like
Yeah, and I was
hired
like,
people to like
it was
modify
like,
them.
yeah, it was like a 3-page like essay on something, and then I'm like, this is not like. I was like, if anybody pays to use these websites for articles, they're dumb as hell.
On the other hand, there was shit like Chegg, where like it just had the answers for the tests that you were taking,
I love that.
and it's kind of, like I
I
said,
just,
that alone was already exposing how bullshit a lot of like the way that we grade people in higher education
no,
was like flawed.
hey, not just tag website with flashcards.
Oh, shit, what was that one called?
Because that one, that's basically how I passed a lot of classes. Um, um,
Oh, Quizlet.
Quizlet, yes.
Yeah, that shit.
You just,
And Chegg, if you paid for a subscription for that shit, you'd have to really try to fucking fail.
I wanted check. I just didn't want to pay for that shit. I couldn't justify it. You know, like, what do I pay for this and it's not the right answers? Like,
Right. Or worse, like you can't modify whatever the answer is to like fit what you're trying to answer, and so like you just wasted money, basically.
yep.
And I know some people would probably immediately go to the comment and be like, "Well, you should just learn the material." Like, yeah, that's why people bought that shit though. Is like the professors that they had were so bad they either couldn't explain the material or expected you to do it yourself, which is like, why the fuck am I paying for you to teach me then?
That's exactly how my stats teacher was.
I
Like
think the
he
most
taught us
offensive
one
thing.
thing
Oh, go
and
ahead.
the homework was something else. He taught us one thing and like the homework and exams are like way different than how he taught us it.
I just hate. I think my biggest pet peeve is these professors who act like they could just put a PowerPoint on the screen and talk about the PowerPoint and act like that's what I paid for.
That's literally a lot of college. That's why a lot of kids skip class after like the
Oh, dude, if I found out my professor was a PowerPoint bitch, I immediately fucking stopped attending unless it was a requirement. I was just like, okay, you got all the PowerPoints posted? Bet.
what's
Bye.
what's the no or like the worst I hated was when teachers didn't post the PowerPoints
Mm-hmm.
because then they'll say, "Oh, the class doesn't take notes." Then
Fuck you. That's what I have to say to that shit. What again? What am I fucking paying for if I go into a college class, if not to learn something, not be fucking spoon fed a PowerPoint?
I think the problem with college also is like it doesn't work to everyone's learning. It works towards one type of learning ability.
I think also, especially nowadays, it doesn't teach any useful skills like hard skills.
Yep.
The best class that I took, actually, I'll take a little bit more. I'll be a little nicer. The best classes, multiple that I taken, were writing classes like English and like comp and technical writing. Like my programming classes taught me how like oriented programming taught me how to like understand concepts with programming. But like once they started to try to dig deeper, all the material they had was so outdated, like compared to the real world, that it was just like completely worthless.
Yeah. Like technical writing and business writing was like the same thing. Like I had the choice of taking that class or the other one.
You'd be shocked, dude, because I like help interns sometimes, and like part of that is like me just asking questions that are kind of like IT shit. But another part of that is just me being like, can you use Excel? Can you use like Office products? Can you write something? Can you make a
You
list
know,
of things and do it in order?
what's crazy is how many people don't know how to do that. And like how many of these people are like adults.
I'm not like upset about. I don't feel like that's that crazy because like you'd be really. I feel like when I talk to people that aren't in my field and just kind of like on the internet, just like random people, I'm always shocked at how like they can't even do like remedial level math.
There's that too. But like, there's some people who are online like all day, and I'm like, how do you not know how to make like a Word document? Like, type up one.
Even like I'll give you a crazier example. There's a lot of kids that I know who don't know how to like look for a file on a computer because they only know the phone.
They only know the phone, or they only know to get on like YouTube or Facebook.
Right. I think people are
I,
upset about the AI bots because of that shit because then they can just ask the bot rather than like actually learn how to do something either.
like I used like YouTube growing up just to find out how to do certain things on the computer when I didn't know. Uh, I always thought I thought everyone did this stuff, and I guess that's not the case.
I don't know. I'm not like really shocked when you like think about it in context. I think one of the crazier stats I saw was that 40% of people, give or take, grain of salt here, but like a pretty good amount of people under the age of 18 don't use Google search. They use TikTok search.
I could see that.
And it's because like I get it. You know, you if you TikTok search something like a restaurant, you'll see like what is the vibe, what food is there, rather than like Google's just like here's a location in the hours.
I don't. I also kind of think people don't know how to find it on Google.
That too.
But let's see. See, what are we at now?
About 40ish minutes. We could do. Oh, we forgot to talk about the line test, bro. That's the funniest fucking shit.
I've known about the line test for like 6 months. I'm shocked you didn't know.
I didn't know because I really.
It's, it's like
It's one of
it's
those
a
things that I
line.
don't
I
really.
think
I don't really like for memes. They kind of just happen, and once it hits the mainstream and I haven't seen it, I'm always kind of shocked.
it's like an Instagram, YouTube, TikTok thing that I see people do. Like they're like, are they together? Well, let's do the line test. And it's like the lines. I think if they aren't perpendicular, I think no, not perpendicular, parallel, then I guess they're not a couple.
That's so
I
weird.
don't know how exactly it works.
I think people just like try to find deeper meaning into bullshit that when like I post pictures and I'm always just kind of like posting pictures and I don't really think about like any of that kind of shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
That and it's sort of like the astrological sign stuff. I know this is gonna get us killed, but like I had a coworker be like, "Oh, you're a Taurus? That's crazy." Blah 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 blah, and you were compatible with this, this, and this, and I was just like, what is blood talking about?"
No, no, that happened to me in college. Like some girl like was, oh, you're a Cancer, and I was like, bruh, I don't know what astrology is. Don't talk to me about this.
I'm the one with the three stars that looks like a belt. Oh no, wait, that's astronomy.
No, that was even worse.
Astronomy.
Yes, I think astronomy. Yeah, I think astronomy is worse. One of them, whichever one is the one where they talk about the sun when you were born or what time of the day you were born,
Oh
because
god, that shit is so
that
dumb.
was. I know we're turning away a lot of potential listeners with this, but I don't care.
It's crazy, man. I'm just trying to figure out like when people see another relationship online, they just immediately try to tear it down. But it's weird that like I saw a post earlier where like some girl was like, "My man ugly as hell, but he mine." I was just like, "Why would you like?" And you have like 50,000 followers. Why would you say some shit like that?
I feel like they just want attention when they do that. Like
Like engagement farming.
that. It's like all sorts of engagement farming. We gotta have a whole like episode on engagement
We're
farming.
gonna need Rui for that because he tries.
Right? He
We're
does.
gonna have to roast him for trying to engagement farm and failing.
He does it like he'll post something, and I'm like, I know why you posted this. It was worse when I first became friends with him and followed him on Twitter. Because I would send him something, he would tweet the same tweet, or like he would quote tweet the tweet with the thing, reply to that same tweet with the thing he quote tweeted it with, and I'm like, what are you doing? Stop chasing viral tweets.
I feel like Rui could go viral just off of like saying some of the shit he says, but like
He went
instead,
viral before.
oh yeah, you're right.
Is
I'm
it,
tripping.
no, like one day I was sitting on Twitter, right,
Hmm.
and I seen a podcaster I listened to retweet his tweet. It was about like Girl Scout cookies or whatever. This was like 3 years ago, and I'm like, I hit him was like, bro, you're viral. And then like I was like, how the hell did this dude go viral and I miss it? Because it was like on a Saturday night when it happened too.
Yeah, I. It's funny because I try not to have a large following myself. Like anytime I get over a certain number, I just like delete accounts or like unfollow and like
I
try to
used to
reduce my follow count.
on Instagram. I used to chase a number, but then once I just stopped, I felt way better about myself.
Hmm.
Like I wanted 1,000 followers, but now I'm like, I don't care. And, like if I get it, I get it.
I don't know.
That's
Some of it
also a
too. It's kind of just like I don't want to play algorithm games. I just kind of want to be myself.
that's how I feel. Like I'm like, if people come, they come. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah, if I'm not popular, I kind of just don't give a shit because like doing the podcast is fun just because I get to talk about whatever bullshit. But I'm not like, how do you put it? Like I felt like the Bodega Boys is kind of a perfect example. Like they always knew what to talk about for their pod topics to like get people to talk about them.
I mean, well, they were already like popping on Twitter, and they were on TV for a minute,
Plus, they're
for
like
like a
genuinely like naturally funny too.
yeah, rip them.
Yeah,
But
rip the Bodega Boys.
no, but like they were like on MTV for a little bit before like that iteration of their content began, and like not only that, I constantly seen like their tweets posted on Reddit, and I was like, oh, these dudes must be really funny if like they made it to Reddit.
Has any app fallen off further than Reddit?
Tumblr.
Oh, true.
Like people try to say Tumblr was better. I was like, this thing was never that good to begin with. That's
Tumblr, I felt
another thing.
like Tumblr had a real unique kind of piece of
It
the
felt
internet.
it was like for like really artistic people, or how do I put it?
Porn collectors.
It that it also laid the groundwork for stuff like private snaps and OnlyFans.
Oh, bro, private snaps were a whole entire movie. That could be its own pod topic eventually.
That took over like the internet, like crack took over in the hood. Like you look up and the buy my private snap. I'm like, no.
No. The whole okay, AI is gonna. This is the last AI thing I'm gonna mention before we sign it. The fucking
it's
e-girl
something.
market. The e-girl market is over.
I don't know if it's over yet based on this website that just blew up, but I kind of think it's over for like Twitch maybe.
Oh, bro, Twitch, man. I need to talk about how fucking when I tabbed on the Twitch and I wasn't signed in, it was just all girls and like fucking barely anything. I'm
All
like, you
right.
know that children are on this site, right? Like, I kind of don't get it.
Okay. You know, I used to hate it, but then I'm like, I'm not trying to sound like Keemstar anymore. I was like, if they do it, they do it. It's
That's
just,
fair. I just don't like that the platform itself is like promoting that content when like there are genuinely much better streamers who like actually play shit
well, the
instead
new
of
competitor Kick is kind of worse. But
oh, kick
I,
sucks.
I want, I want, I want to talk about that when we have Rui on because we need like Dre and Rui for that one.
I don't like it, but I can understand wanting to save the topic. Um,
Like once I found out a little bit more about it, I was like, okay. I still don't think it's gonna last long. Like its UI is literally a copycat of Twitch. That's the first reason why I don't think it'll last. But also, very, you need to say your train take that we forgot to say last week.
oh yeah, so the reason all these trains have been popping up in the news lately is because of that one female police officer having a train
It's
ran
just,
on her,
yep,
and because of the derailment of that train, all the other derailments have been getting more coverage. That's the
yes,
take. There's been like a couple more too, but like I think people are just reporting on it now because that initial
oh,
story blew up.
you know what it's like when the police shootings like first became a thing,
Hmm.
and then like every time a big one used to happen, like the news would report on every type of police shooting, even if the person was like a criminal and like the cops shooting was justified, they would say something.
Oh,
Like I
bro,
remember it was
like that Pine Hill
what
shit, like that video came out, and I was like, people in the comments were saying he was trying to Black Lives Matter his way out of this shit. I was like, that's crazy.
yeah, that is wild.
I don't know. I feel like
I feel
that
like
shit
if
is
he
is real frustrating because the shit that happened to like George Floyd and like Tyre Nichols was all completely valid, and then you have shitheads like that just trying to like who actually murder people and like trying to
yeah,
fucking play the victim.
yeah, like he's no Chris Dorner. All right.
With that, I think we got to a good stopping point. This has been the
Yep.
Icy Spicy Cast with me and Ron. Hopefully next week we get Dre out off of the clock and Rui off the bed. Head ass.
Yep.
It's been a good one. Peace, y'all.
All right. Peace.